Welcome to another bite-sized battle report. Today, myself the Mayor will be playing against my brother Sebastian in a 1,100 point game. This is in preparation for a doubles event coming up, so we'll each be piloting essentially a doubles list. I'm going to be piloting the Return of the King here, and Sebastian is going to be piloting Lothlorien with Guahir ally, because this is literally every Lothlorien model he owns. So we had to bulk up the points a little bit. The scenarios for this, we did the old roll for 3 and we each veto 1 just to make it fair. And the options were heirlooms, Clash by Moonlight and Contest of Champions. Sebastian had to veto first, and he's vetoed Contest of Champions because I think Galadriel over here has to be his leader, and that probably wouldn't end very well. I then vetoed Clash. Did I veto Clash, or was it? No, I vetoed heirlooms because I didn't fancy Guahir just going around and doing whatever he wanted. So we're playing Clash by Moonlight, which will of course mean all of Sebastian's bows are a little bit better, but hopefully for not very long. Otherwise, it'll pretty much be a pitched battle, trying to kill each other's heroes, which would be quite fun for this one, I think.
Hi, so yes, this is my Lothlorien list. My leader is Galadriel. She has the mirror because I literally needed to put almost every model I had in Lothlorien on the table. She is leading 4 warriors with bow, 1 with bow and a war horn, which might come in handy in this game. And then we've got a guard in the back with a bowman. Then we've got Haldir with 5 more warriors with bow and another guard with another warrior on horse with a bow. And then on the right hand side we've got Celeborn in his pyjamas, but he does have his sword. He is leading 5 warriors, no upgrades, no shields or anything like that, because I'm very much a WYSIWYG kind of person. He's leading then 6 pikemen and another warrior with a banner and spear. We then have our last warband of the Lothlorien section, which is Rumel. He's leading 4 warriors with, I think, 5 pikemen and another warrior with a spear and a banner. And then, because I had to add up the points, we then just have the one-off Guahir.
I'm taking Return of the King, and for that, of course, I'm going to be taking Aragorn. He's coming with 5 Warriors of the Dead with shield and 4 with shield and spear. Then we've got King of the Dead with 4 and 4 and a cav. Then in the theoretically second list, we've got Gimli and Legolas. So Gimli's taking 5 with sword and board and 3 with spear and shield. Then we've got a banner with shield and spear. Is that even a thing I could do? Do you have enough? Yeah, apparently he has enough hands for that. And a cav. And then we've got Legolas with 5 with shield and 3 with shield and spear, and a cav. They've both got elven cloaks, which may or may not come in handy, we'll see. So we've just finished deployment. Sebastian won the roll-off and decided to deploy on this side of the boards. We both had a similar strategy of not fanning out too much, because I imagine we're going to spread out in the middle of the board very quickly. So we're going to get to the end of turn 1 and get back. At the end of turn 1, all of the ghosty boys and friends have just moved up with a march, and the elves are spread up, craftily using the... Spread up, is that a thing? They're using the bridge, which might be a problem later on. Some cav lurking around the flanks, and we'll come on to turn 2. Yeah, so end of the is this the third? No, second turn. End of the second turn. And Sebastian has killed 5 models, including a cav, from 1 turn of shooting. He needs 5s by 3s, to give you an idea. I basically moved up so that I was just out of 12, because either way I would have been getting shot for 2 turns. So I thought I'd rather have to make Sebastian move for a turn and make his shooting worse. So I dread to see what happens next turn when he's actually hitting on 3s.
You know what's funny? I actually forgot to shoot Haldir.
Do you want to do that now? Let's see if we can get a kill live. Go on.
So Haldir will just shoot into 2 more warriors. 2 hits.
2 hits. Now he needs 5s.
Ooh. I was tempted to mine, but I don't think it's worth it. Kills another
So he
one.
kills another model. What, this guy presumably?
Yeah.
So that's the end of turn 2, and 6 models now are dead for the Return of the King. Brilliant. So the end of movement from that turn. Unfortunately, the Return of the King lost. No, they won priority. So I had to shoot up, and that allowed Sebastian to basically do whatever he wanted to me. So over here, Galadriel has transfixed this poor guy on the end, which has been charged by Gwahir. And he's also called a heroic accuracy with Haldir. So I have a feeling he's going to be shooting into my heroes a lot, but let's see what happens. So the end of the shooting, and Sebastian shot through a hole here into Aragorn. He managed to do 2 wounds, both of which were saved by an unmodified fate roll. So Aragorn is 2 fate down at this point, and we only lost 1 model that turn, which is pretty good going based on last model.
Got to combat next.
Combat, yeah. So we're going to. Oh, the bloody Gwaier. Do you want to? I'll set you the bar. I'm going to shield, obviously.
Yep.
With my transfixed model. Too high. Beat that.
Yep. I'll try.
6. That might do it. So are you going to hurl?
I will be hurling, yes.
Okay. Do you want to roll your dice then?
So I don't believe I get my army bonus, so I think I'm still only strength 6. So it'll be 3 plus D3.
3 plus 1. 4 inches.
4 inches.
So I think you'll get to Legolas, but not Aragorn, based on the bases there.
I think it does.
Okay, we'll measure and get back. So we determined that he was within 4, because we were measuring from the edge of his base, obviously. All of the marked models are now prone. Sebastian didn't do a single wound, not even to the one. Actually, we didn't roll for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight 3 hits.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So we'll do that now. This guy here, between Gimli and Aragorn, landed there, so we displaced Aragorn slightly, but he might die now, so let's just see. And, yeah.
Oh, 6s by 4s.
Is it really 6? Oh, yeah, strength 3, yeah.
Yeah, so he does die.
So he's dead. So this guy is dead. I'll just scoot Aragorn
We'll just
back
pop it back where it was. Yeah, that's fine.
So they're all prone now. So we're into the movement. Sebastian won priority, so he's thinking he wants to take advantage of the fact that my 2 heroes are down. He used, what was it? What did Galadriel use?
Command.
Command to move this guy with a blue band from this position around to here. That way he makes enough space for him to try and do some shenanigans here. So he has a couple of control zones to take before he can get Rumil in. So he's going to roll those now. So what's the first one?
So the first one is this bowman has to try and charge into these 2 warriors.
Yeah.
So
He
that is
passes.
a pass because of the warhorn, otherwise that would have been a fail.
Yeah, so it's plus 1 minus 1, isn't it?
Yes.
Because of the king.
So he'll go into these 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celeborn charging into those 2. He is courage 7 up to 8, down to 7 again. So yeah, he's
So he
fine.
passes
So he'll come through here.
into those two.
These 2.
And we did measure it. Rumil can just about get into Aragorn.
Aragorn, if he charges him as well.
Yeah, and he remains in both of these guys' control zones. Obviously, he'll enter this guy's control zone first on the left. Would it be? No, as long as you don't leave the control zone.
Well, if I tag, why don't I try and tag him with
Okay,
someone
that's
else?
sensible. So we're going to try and tag this guy out.
I think Haldir will try and tag. So he's covering him. He's courage 6 up to 7.
Down
So
to
yeah,
six,
he's
so
fine.
He's fine.
Yeah. So he will just
Tag that guy.
tag this guy here.
Yeah.
And I think there should be there's still enough for him to get through.
Yeah, so you can go into those 2. So now a courage for Rumil.
Yeah,
He passes.
So Rumil's going to come through here, just into these 2.
Very nice. And that's how the pro sweaty players do it, as they say. And we'll come back after the rest of the movement. End of the movement for this turn then. Sebastian flew Gwahir over here. I think he might be going for a little hurl, I'm not really sure. The cavalry are chasing each other around this building. and these archers over here stood still, so they're probably going to have some shots onto some supporting troops in a second. The only two models who are currently on the floor are Aragorn and Legolas. Gimli charged Gwaihir with the King of the Dead, who's behind there. So there might be a dead Gwaihir there, we'll see. And I think these two are just going to have to try and survive against the elves for this turn. So quite a few interesting fights going on. I have decided to strike with every single one of my heroes. Legolas is fighting Celeborn there, and he's on the ground. Aragorn is fighting Rumil, so I figured might as well try and have the fight advantage there. I called a strike with Gimli. Gwaihir then replied with a strike, so I've also struck with the King of the Dead over there. Just on the off chance he rolls a 5 or 6 to make me fight 10. So we'll start playing out some of the combats. So we've just done the combat for Celeborn versus Legolas. Legolas struck up and won the fights, and then stood up. Aragorn also won his fight, but he had to spend an extra might to do so. So Aragorn, Rumil had to, Rumil mighted up to force Aragorn to spend a might. So both of them have got up. Gwaihir we're just about to do. Don't be afraid, he might still die. So I'm first going to roll for Gimli's strike. So I'm aiming for a 4+ here. It's a 6, so I'm up to fight 10. Let's see if Sebastian can roll. Not a 1. Okay, so Gwaihir is also fight 10. So I'm going to roll for Gimli first. Gimli's on a 5, so I'll just leave that there. I'll roll for the king, who has 2 attacks. So we'll just ignore that ever happened. And then Sebastian can roll for Gwaihir.
Oh, only 4.
Oh dear, only 4. He's got 2 might left though. So I'm going to roll for the rest of my guys now. I'm actually going to banner reroll this first with the banner back there. It's a 5 again. So Gimli's on a 5, could might it. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dudes. So let's see. No sixes. So Gimli could might it, but Gimli's currently winning the fight. So.
I will spend 2 might to make it a 6.
And I will spend 1 might with Gimli. So Gwaihir is out of might, Gimli's on 1 might, and the king is out of might. So now it's 50-50. Fortunately, I don't have priority, so I don't have to roll for this. I would say elves are good here. So, I mean, I've got ghosty men, so...
Okay, that's a deal.
And you've got Gwaihir, so...
And Galadriel is pretty good.
And Galadriel. And basically everyone on your side is going to be 100% good. So,
sweet.
1, 2, 3, please. It's a 3. Sebastian doesn't look happy. So I'm just going to roll the wounds now then. I'll just roll with the king first. Because you've got fate but no might.
He needs 5s.
So he needs 5s. So trapped, 4 attacks, needing 5s. That's 2 wounds. So statistically...
First fate. Second fate. Dead.
No.
Cool, excellent.
Gwaihir has gone down to the King of the Dead. So in this turn, the Lothlorien won priority again and have charged in. Some excellent shooting by the elves on the bridge, shot down 2 spear supports that were in that space, so those 2 are kind of on their own now. We've got some fights in the middle here, some hero on hero action. Legolas and Celeborn striking. Aragorn got transfixed by Galadriel and Celeborn, meaning he ended up using all 3 of his will and didn't quite manage to save it the second time. Rumil is heroic defensing, and that's where we are. So we'll see how these combats come out, and then we'll come back for the heroes. So we've done most of the combats now. It's just the heroes left. Haldir killed a dude. All the combats around here, Sebastian rolled a 6 to win the fight, so I didn't need to do any rolling, which was very kind of him. But he did not manage to kill anyone. Over here, 1 loss, 1 I think. I don't think anyone died. So we're going to roll for the strikes for Legolas versus Celeborn now. So I'm going to strike up for Legolas. He's on 10.
Oh, both on 10.
Celeborn's on 10 as well. So 2 attacks for Legolas. So 4 high.
And a 6.
And a 6. Okay, so I've got an extra guy who's supporting. He gets a 6 as well.
Gotcha, bitch!
Now it's Sebastian's priority.
Yeah.
So
Both have Elven Blades.
both have Elven Blades, so I'm evil, he's good.
Yay.
Good wins. So Celeborn, so back away here.
So I'll do the 2 platinum first. They need 5s. No, they need defense 5 or 6?
He's defense 5, I think.
Defense 5. Yeah, defense 4 up to 5. So
Yeah, he's got armor, so
looking for 5s. Nope.
no.
And Celeborn needs 5s as well.
Okay.
Roll for the West. No wounds. Fantastic.
No wounds, so Legolas survives. Then we'll do Rumil versus King and Aragorn with 2 friends. Rumil is defensing, Aragorn is transfixed. I'll just roll for Aragorn then.
Yep.
So 5 high for Aragorn.
Brilliant.
Oh, dear.
3 high for Rumil. I will banner.
Banner reroll.
I can't banner Rumil. I have to banner one of the pikes because Rumil's not within. Got a 4.
4.
I'm going to use Rumil's special rules to make you reroll a 5.
Okay, bear in mind I haven't rolled any of the other dice yet, so do you want me to... Okay. So there's a 4 high for Aragorn. I'm going to use the banner reroll on Aragorn because he's got might. So 2. So currently...
Still got King and there's 2 supports.
Yeah, so King first.
You get 6.
King gets a 6. So Aragorn wins that fight, so Aragorn is transfixed, he can't do anything. The 2 supports then on Rumil, needing something high.
6 is because I defend.
6 is because you defensed, oh yeah, of course. And King of the Dead, oh, you're trapped though. Are you trapped? No.
If I
Celeborn can move.
No, because my pike is directly opposite these 2, so...
Okay, so he is trapped. So the 2 guys again, no. And then King of the Dead with 4 attacks, needing that 6s, nothing.
Thank God for that.
So all for naught, and we'll move on to the next turn. So we're at the end of the move and shoot for this turn. Aragorn lost a move off to Galadriel, having lost priority, and Galadriel in turn, along with Celeborn, have transfixed Gimli and Aragorn. Everyone's in combat at this point. There are just a few spear supports, so unfortunately for Sebastian, no archery this turn. And we're going to move into the fighting. So we've done some of the combats. Couple of elves died. One of the Dead of Dunharrow died. We're now going to do the 3 hero combats. So we'll do Legolas vs Celeborn, both of whom struck. So striking. So Legolas isn't 10, but Celeborn is. So Legolas attacks. That's a 5. We'll get to the nice 6. So Legolas is going to back away.
I'll do the 2 pikes first, needing 5s. Nope. And then Celeborn needing 5s. With the Lord of the West.
Yep.
1 wound.
1 wound. So Legolas will roll his fate. He might as well because he's got no might. So he's got 2 fates. First one passes. He's down a fate. Now we'll do Aragorn
against Rumil.
versus Rumil. I take it you're not shielding.
No, because I've got pikes, so...
Aragorn is transfixed, so Aragorn's attacks gets a 6. Oh, no 6 yet. Banner reroll.
Nope.
No. Are you mighting it?
No.
No might, so Aragorn wins and stands up. Aragorn's friend gets to stab you though.
Yes.
So
I'm just thinking what I'll do is... he can't move actually. I will back him up like there.
Okay.
We're not going to see that.
So the Warrior of the Dead doesn't... Wait, 5? No.
No, he's courage 6. Even with, so the +1 -1.
Yep,
so
and
he's
it's strength 3, so that's nothing. Then we'll do the King of the Dead versus Haldir.
Mm-hmm.
So King of the Dead's only fight 5, I think. So he's 1 less fight. So Rumil's Haldir even's going to set the bar.
Gets the
Ooh,
6,
lots of sixes.
so he wins it.
2 pike supports first.
Yep, so
Needs-
defense 8, 6s by 4s.
Yeah, they're just going to go on the king.
Okay,
Ooh.
6.
There's a 4.
That's a wound.
Do you want to use a fate?
I might as well, I suppose, because he's got a
You've
might.
got 2 wounds though.
So he fails the first one, passes the second one.
Okay, so 2 wounds, 1 fate, and then houses, strikes. Needing strike 6s? No.
No. So just 1 fate left on the King of the Dead. And that's the end of the round. So we'll start with priority the next turn. So Lothlorien yet again won priority, and Aragorn yet again lost a move off to Galadriel. So he's now transfixed again. All of the elves have moved in. They're kind of swarming over the undead warriors at this point. And as you can see, Aragorn is a little bit trapped over there while he's transfixed. So he's in a lot of trouble. And is it Celeborn who's striking?
Yeah, Celeborn has... Rumour doesn't have strikes, so Celeborn has struck.
So Celeborn is struck. So we'll do all the other little combats and then we'll come back to the heroes. So we've just done all of the combats. I think 1 or 2 died on both sides. We're now doing these combats. Legolas has just survived against an elf and killed them. We've just done Gimli and Haldir, but Haldir's won, and he's about to roll all of his dice against Gimli to see if he can wound / kill him.
So the pikeman, 6s by 4s, no. And then Haldir, strike 6s. No, it's not worth a mic point, so no.
Okay, so Gimli's fine, so he'll just back away. And then the trapped Aragorn. So see what you strike to.
See what I strike up. Ooh, only 1.
So you're not gonna.
So I'm not fainting, but I do go to fight 7.
Do you go to fight 7? So it'll be Aragorn against Celeborn, Rumil, and 3 friends, including 1 banner.
Yeah.
So
I won't bother rolling for the banner.
I'll set the bar with Aragorn, who still has 2 mites. Okay, so 6 for Aragorn.
So blue dice is Rumil, white dice is Celeborn, and green dice are the pikemen.
Okay.
No 6 yet. Brilliant.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Gonna banner.
I will banner.
Someone with might.
Well, I'll do Lord of the West first.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a 5.
He hasn't got any might though.
He hasn't got any might.
So I will banner Rumil
Okay.
because he's got 1 might point.
He's got 1, so you need a 5 or 6. So, jinkies. So Aragorn's transfixed though, so he doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the King of the Dead versus 2 pikemen.
Yeah.
So King of the Dead has a friend as well, but I'll roll for the king first. King's on a 5. Banner. Right, so king wins that. King kills. And that concludes that turn. This is the last turn of the game, and Aragorn won his move off this time, having also won priority. So everyone moved in. The plan was to gank Haldir over here with my 3 heroes. And this guy with the blue ring was behind Aragorn. I was thinking that would be enough to avoid getting combated into, but no, Galadriel has compelled that guy away, and now Rumil and Celeborn over here are going to try and combat off of this fella. I have a feeling potentially into Aragorn. So in response, I have struck with Aragorn and combated with Gimli. Haldir has also struck, so we're going to see which combat happens first and go from there. Haldir and Aragorn are now the only people with a might each. No one else has might. So elves are good. Return the King's evil. So let's see who goes first. It's evil, so Return of the King. So Aragorn will be going first. So let's see what Aragorn and Haldir strike up to. I'll roll for Aragorn. Aragorn's on 10. Haldir's on 9. So let's see if Aragorn can roll his 6. There is a 6. So Aragorn will win the combat there. Haldir is trapped. Aragorn's needing 4s with 6 dice.
Yeah, I'll do.
That's 3 wounds. Haldir has
So,
1 fate,
yeah.
so he is dead.
So, hang on. So, Haldir's special rule, final blow.
Oh, what's that?
So, when he dies, he gets a strength 4 hit on everyone that he's in combat with.
Okay, so yeah. So do you want to do them one at a time?
Yeah.
So Gimli first.
Gimli, wounds.
Wounds Gimli. Gimli will just take the wound, I guess.
Okay.
No, I'll roll his fate. Okay, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Then the King of the Dead. 5 defense 8.
It is mightable.
He has a might left.
But I'm actually going to leave that because I'm going to try and wound Aragorn.
Yeah, okay, so roll for Aragorn.
So, needing 5s. Ah, of course.
It's a 1. Can you reroll that in any way?
No.
Okay, so unfortunately Haldir is just dead. And then the combat goes off. We've moved the models, so Aragorn charged Celeborn, King of the Dead charged this pikeman, and Gimli charged this randomer. The King of the Dead and Gimli lost their combats. We did all the other combats, a couple guys died, Cav died. We've just got the banner left and Aragorn, so I'm obviously going to hang on to the banner for a minute. So we're going to roll for Aragorn versus Celeborn. Aragorn struck up earlier in the turn, so he's currently fight 10. So we'll roll and see who wins this combat. So I'll roll for Aragorn. Aragorn's got the 6. And what defense is Celeborn? Defense 4. Oh, it's 4 anyway, isn't it? He's not trapped, I don't believe. I've got 1 might. I might as well use it. So 2 wounds.
First fate. Second fate.
That was the first fate. Brilliant. How many wounds has he got? Leap fastest. So takes 1 wound. So Celeborn's left on 2 wounds. So we'll count the scores and come back. The end score then is 3-0 to the Return of the King, purely because I killed Haldir and someone else, Gwahir, whoever that guy is. Yeah, I think there are a few pivotal moments. Gwahir not surviving. I think Sebastian wishes he defensed instead of struck on that one. I think he probably would have survived at least a turn. And there was a turn where Aragorn was trapped and Sebastian failed to roll a 6 despite having a high fight value, and that was with 9 dice?
9 dice. Yeah.
9 dice. So if that had happened, Aragorn almost certainly would have died. I think I was not expecting to win this one.
I don't think either of us were, because the elves were so high fight value, and with the Warhorn as well. One of the biggest strengths of the Army of the Dead is to wound on 4s or 3s, depending on what you're playing against. So with the higher fight value of the elves and the banners, we thought it would have been slightly the other way around. And to be fair, I think you were only a few models off of breaking.
Yeah, I think I was 2 models from breaking.
So it's one of those things where I think there were quite a few moments where 6s by 4s weren't quite working out.
And actually, breaking when you're unbroken is worth 5.
Yeah.
So I think you're slowly getting to breaking, but I think you're definitely further off than I am. Yeah,
it was a good game, very close. There was a lot of intricate moments as well. It was quite a tiring game.
Yeah, a lot of heroes doing things.
Moving around, and there's a lot of precise movement, especially with where the pillars are and things, made it quite difficult to manoeuvre.
Yeah, these bloody pillars are real. Your rolling wasn't great this game.
I think I passed 1 fate save.
You won a lot of move-offs and passed a lot of courage tests, but in the big fights, I think your luck just wasn't there.
Yeah, I was able to roll 6s for almost every warrior combat, and then when it came to the heroes, they just weren't.
But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. Hope you enjoyed, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. If you've enjoyed this battle report, please feel free to drop us a like and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. We do a weekly podcast where we cover Middle-earth SBG as well as other games. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.